having had to completely start from zero for most of us, because I mean, we used to make. I mean, I look at myself, and I'm pretty sure you too, but
yeah,
it's Osunlade day, so it's not the same reality. But still, is it's like we all made money from gigs, right?
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, 90% of your income is gone.
Yeah,
and the 10% left is the label, or it's whatever it is that you probably had going on.
Yeah,
and now you have to put all these hats on, and you're like, all right, I'm not going to panic. How am I going to sort this out? How am I going to figure things out? And you have a little bit of money to help you sustain the first couple of months of, because you're like, it's going to probably come back. But then you're like, no, it's not coming back. And it's funny because the more you speak to people, everybody's like, nobody's coming back, man. Everybody's going to want to party.
Oh, man. I set my mind in the beginning that this was already a setup, man. I don't believe in. I'm not saying that COVID is not there. I've had family members that have caught it. They've all survived. I've got friends that have had it as well. But I think that you had it. So I think that this is definitely something that's devised, and with all the shit that they're spraying in the air and that's in the food, and you don't have it that much over there, but man, this is so blatant in your face about control and power and about making humanity slaves. This is my view. This is clearly what it's about. This is the next step of 9/11 bullshit. This is just another step to take our freedoms away. And a part of the DJing thing and all that for me is like no party and nothing is more is important as my health. You're not going to take my freedoms, and you're not going to take my health. I'm not giving you those things. And so that's kind of where I stand. If I never have to have a party again or play a party, so be it. I've seen the world many times over. I may miss seeing my friends, but at this stage, it's just such a shit show to even think about what tomorrow's going to be, because it's just everything is just so fucked up in every place. Nobody knows anything. So the only thing that you can do is, hone in on your craft, learn whatever you know, learn something better about that. Get on Twitch or get on YouTube or Facebook or whatever the fuck your thing is, and start building your community so that they know that you're there. Because I think this is where we're at, man. This is exactly where we're at.
I agree, and to echo your point, even musically, the type of stuff that I can play every Fridays here on my show. I can literally, if I want to play hip hop, I'll play hip hop. If I want to play funk, I choose whatever I wish to play, which is like something that you can't afford to do in a club because everybody wants to hear that.
You're also
that bangs or that, and it's like, they want to hear the Yoruba solo orchestra, and it's like, but I'm DJing now. I can't play your, so.
And the great thing is you're not hired. You're just doing you. You're
your own promoter at this point.
Yeah. No one promoter is saying, "Hey, can you play that one song?" Or somebody in the front, want you to play Madonna or George Michael.
But you made a point that I think is important for us to speak on, because you've been extremely vocal, and actually you've started your Osunlade Instagram account.
Yeah. They threatened me. I had to call them out on the threat. They threatened me to disable my account because I put up some posts, and I'm like, look, this is part of the problem. You can't censor people. You know what I mean? This is a social thing. If this is about people's voice, you can't censor me. What's the point? And I know it's bots and art and AI and all that, but again, I think anything that's geared towards taking more of our freedoms is wrong. And I think that I'm not going to play in that game. I don't need Instagram. It's not bringing me any money. I'm making them money every time I click on there. It's not the other way around. So what benefits am I having? And you're going to threaten me? I don't need this. And I think that would be the best thing in this world. If everyone got off of every social media thing, stop these companies.
How is that even possible? Because
it's not
technically,
possible, but it's not possible. That's the thing. But just imagine if that happened.
Well, we couldn't see a pandemic hitting us, and yet it did. And
that would just be, everyone stopped buying from Amazon just for a day, even if for a day. Things like that. That's where the power lies. You stop their money and you show them that you're not staying in this society. I mean, there's enough resources in this world where there should be no one poor, no one homeless, no one without. Why is there such a divide? 1% of this world runs this world. 150 people or whatever the fuck it is. It's just insane to me. Like, what kind of place is this?
But you know that what you just said, not to cut you, but like I had this conversation with an elderly folk, and he was like, who's very educated, you know, he reads a lot of books, and you know, but we all have different kind of educations, of course. Yeah. If you know, if you put some of these folks' perspective, it's like, yo, how is that even possible that 150 people could be running the world when it's like, you know, that like there's people who really believe that, you know, the government is actually good for you, and that there is no way the government can hurt you, and there's no way that the system socially is designed to destroy.
I say to those people, go look at some real history. There's no.
But where do you access that real history? Where do you get this knowledge from, though?
There's you can go to, for at least in America, you can go to the FBI site, the CDC, all the stuff that's been disclassified that they classify and then they declassify it. It's all there. All the things about, at least for America, there's so many documentaries. There's, you know, but on the CDC alone and the FBI site alone, you literally go to any year and look up declassified stuff. And it marks out everything, that the war is on Cuba, the reason that people can't go to Cuba, everything is right there. There's never been, for me, exactly, for COVID is, for one thing, it's like in America, the healthcare is the worst in the world. Do you honestly think these people are here to help you, to cure you? Nobody's talking about, hey, why don't you just eat better, and we will support you in a better diet and get you more fruit instead of feeding you this shit, you know? Or just like what happened to the.
But is it the system feeding people, or is it people feeding themselves, and the system is just, you know, using
both? It's both, because the people, at least I'm only speaking for Americans because this is where I'm from. The people are conditioned. This is the thing. It's just like the people watching whatever's on the news. You know, if you don't read a book, or if you don't go out and find out the real history of who, you know, who built this country, or who did that, or whatever the hell, you're always going to have these ideas of his story. Mm-hmm. History is just his story. It's not the story, you know. And again, a lot of the information is online. You can Google a lot of the stuff. You know, if you want to know about aliens, they fucking exist. You want to get to real stuff, you go to the government site. Again, for me, you go to the government site because it's all there.
But then somebody would say, "Who's the devil's lawyer?" Would say, "But you know, I gotta play it. Even now with you, but but it's like, okay, but yet you said the government, all this information is there, but then at the same time, we're saying the government is lying and it's hiding."
Yeah, of course. Why would the government put that out? Yeah, why would they say that? Yeah, what was the point?
My take would be, well, my answer would be, well, because it is actually better to put the truth out and then put maybe a counter truth. I mean,
listen, man.
Maybe it's very dystopian, but I mean, yeah, you know, it's
we pay these people astronomical fees to look after us and make decisions in our benefit. I've never seen that happen. That's just my view, my common sense. I've never seen that happen in any country where the people have what's rightfully theirs and are taken care of, versus what the government officials live on and how they live and what they do. And it's like you literally have these people. For me, like for states, I've never understood a president, or in other countries, why would you have one person make decisions for a nation? Why isn't there? Has anybody thought of the three people? So if two disagree, that's the tiebreaker. I mean, there's so many different things that could happen in this world that just make logical common sense to me, that are options, better options for our survival. I think that the problem now is that there's too many people on this planet, and there is a plan to depopulate this place, and that's what they're doing now, in my opinion. and it's working to some degree. And I mean, there's going to be people that the funny thing for me is people that call others conspiracy theorists. It's always a conspiracy until it comes true. And there's just so much things, again, so many conspiracy theories you can think of that they just happen to come true. They're just happening. So for the devil's advocate, I mean, listen, I'm here to just enlighten people on what I believe from what I see. And I think I don't see the world. I don't even like my view of living in this world is not very realistic. Like, I have my own imagination world in this world to survive in this world, because this is just some crazy shit for me. So looking at it, I just think that you can't save everybody. Not everybody's gonna get what you're saying, what you're pushing. Everybody has their own views. My thing is, I just want to give people the pause to say, have you thought about this? Have you researched this? Have you really in yourself thought about what's good for yourself? You are here. You are God. You are made to heal yourself. When you cut yourself, what happens? It closes. Everything that's in you is here to protect you and to heal you from all this other stuff. I don't understand how, if there's a virus, you put people inside, take them away from the sun, the fresh air, you put masks on them, you take them away from the ocean, vitamin D, and all this other stuff that could actually heal you naturally. You take them all away from that, and that's supposed to be good for them, and that's saving them. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. It doesn't make logical sense to me. So for the devil's advocate, let me be wrong, but I'm not an ape. I have a mind, and it questions everything that does not make sense to me. It just questions everything. And that for me is just like, this world is just so crazy, man. Again, I just think that it's just unfortunate to have so much beauty in such an ugly place.
There's Bree here that says that she's listening in the background and she's 100% with you. I always thought that the way we live is not right, and unfortunately I haven't got the answer, but this is therefore not right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so now this is the thing, right? So this leads me to the birth, or I would say the domination of all these little groups of cancel culture. Now everything's a hashtag. Cancel culture, victim shaming. Everything has like a massive hashtag, and it's like
everything is so offensive. Everyone's so offended by every fucking thing. I'm like, when do we start celebrating people's deaths? Like, what the fuck is happening in this world, man? It's just a weird fucking thing. I don't know what's happening here. All I know is that I'm making music while all this shit is happening. But yeah, it's weird, man. It's a weird one. I think at some point we're basically becoming a parody of ourselves. We're becoming that virtual world. You know what I mean? Like, truthfulness is just, things that are logical is just fucking just crazy. You're weird. You're crazy. You're out of your mind.
Just as Kiara just said, logic is becoming a lost human heart.
It's just weird, man. And I'm like, when did this happen? When did this parallel universe happen? Like, I didn't sign up for this, but I'll go with it. But yeah, I just think a lot of things, like, everybody needs something to grasp onto. It's like everybody has to have this validating point that they exist, and it's like, and
if they're not validated, then automatically you're an enemy to whatever it is that they're vouching for.
You're a hater. You hate my, and it's like, no, man. It's, again, I think life is simple. Shit is not so deep. You don't have to make everything about you. You don't have to make everything a fucking thing. Accept where you stand and what you do and who you are and what you're here to do. And I think that that's the thing that's missing now. People are spending so much time on a fucking box. They're losing themselves because they're seeing all these images and all these things that's been fed to them and the thing that's been marketed to them. And that's who they're becoming. And then that's their outer view of who they think they want to present to everybody. They don't know who the fuck they are anymore. And and I think that's part of the problem. That's the one thing that I really must say about Instagram. I hate about Instagram is that everyone's such a fucking poser. Everything is so great. What am I doing? And I'm here. And